Yo, top of the damn morning to you guys. So I know what you're probably saying to yourself, T, you look pretty damn good in glasses. And I think so too, guys. I appreciate it. But it's about 6 in the morning. Focus Trades member is going to get you guys ready with a few setups and a few big picture things to keep an eye on here today. And I want to share that with those of you guys who follow me on Instagram and follow me on YouTube. So first thing we're going to take a look at, guys, here is just a bigger picture update on the market. Now, as you know, we had the Fed yesterday. And there's a bunch of catalysts this week, kind of hanging above our head. We have economic data today, jobless claims. Tomorrow is Friday. We've got retail sales. Like I said, we had the Fed yesterday. And now we have, these potential new tariffs going to get imposed this coming Sunday. A lot of shit going on this week. So we at the Focus Trades group, especially me personally, we use the S&P 500 and we use the 15-period moving average, the green moving average right here, to get a sense of the current trend. So the current trend here started early October. It's been a very fun market. And even on the pullbacks here, guys, we've been supported at the 15. Now, we did briefly drop below the 15. The market quickly reversed. We got right back above the upside. And even on the pullback here into the Fed, we got supported above the 15. The market did bounce yesterday. So we still have a few things, hanging above our head, especially those potential tariffs coming into place. However, as of this morning, the market does look good. We're being supported nicely above the 15-period moving average, as we would expect to see, in a good uptrend. And now we've got resistance up above at that previous all-time high. So if we take a look at that pre-market price action, the market is heading to the upside a little bit here this morning. So for you day traders out there, key levels to keep an eye on today as far as resistance goes, right? We have this resistance right here at about, what is that? 315.25ish, whatever you guys want to call it. Right, market runs up big, we get some resistance. We try to make another attempt, we get some resistance, we get that fade, we come right back in here this morning. We're seeing this level as resistance again. So for you day traders out there, there's one initial level of resistance to watch here this morning that you might want to keep an eye on. Now, as far as bigger picture levels of resistance, obviously we have the all-time up here around 315.50ish. So the market looks good right now, guys. We've gotten back above the 15, and even with all the catalysts hanging above our head right now, things do seem pretty good. So those are the two key levels I'm focusing on here to get a feel for the next potential move of the market. Is it a breakout above all-time highs? Do we drop below the 15 and potentially reverse? Those are a few things, guys, that I'm looking at. Now, most importantly, and if you're in the Focus Trades group, and your ass should be in the Focus Trades group, we've been talking a lot about the role that volatility plays in the market, especially for us as options traders. I'm not going to go into a full-blown lesson here on volatility, guys. End of story. Volatility above 16, the market can be sketchy, choppy, or pretty damn ugly. Volatility below 16, it's usually smooth sailing. So, with all the catalysts this week, the Fed, trade war, yada, 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 we've seen some pops in volatility. However, we're dropping back below that $16 level. We take a look here at the pre-market price action, and volatility is still fading. So I wouldn't say that we're out of the woods just yet. Trump could send out a tweet today regarding those tariffs. He could send out a tweet tomorrow, and there's no telling how that whole situation is going to unfold over the weekend. So right now, guys, as traders, we're taking things day to day. However, heading into this Thursday morning, VIX is below 16. That's a good sign. The market is back above the 15. That's another good sign. We'll see how things unfold here. But those are two big picture things for you guys to keep in mind. Now let's talk about Nvidia and Shop. All right, so as far as Shop goes, right, everybody is waiting for that 380 breakout right now. Now that's where Shop had found some support before getting dumped in a pretty big fashion. We've turned around here, and you can see, guys, right, the choppiness and just kind of a lot of the manipulation and crap that's taken place beneath that 380 level. So this is a breakout I'm looking for. I'm sure a handful of guys and girls in our group are looking for as well, but patience is going to be required. When you get a name like Shop that's been moving a lot as of late, and when you get a name like Shop heading up towards a bigger picture potential breakout level like that, it usually isn't going to be that easy. What we'll tend to see, guys, is a lot of moves towards that level of resistance where really it's nothing but manipulation. The market makers are trying to pull you in. You get ready for that breakout, so you're jumping into out-the-money calls, you're loading up, and then things fade, right? It goes back towards that breakout level, it fades. And it can do that time and time again. And to give you guys kind of an idea of what oftentimes is taking place in a situation like that, if we look at this Friday's expiration, 380 strike calls. Right, here's what's been going on with those calls this week. Now, if we take a look at that last, good move towards that 380 level here on the 9th, again, everybody's waiting for the breakout, right? It's a bigger picture stock. It's a big move in name. So here's what happens is that the market makers have pushed that thing towards that breakout level. Everybody's excited, right? And when I say everybody, I'm talking about us, the small traders, right? Here's what happens, guys. The market makers move the stock towards that breakout level. Everybody gets excited. We start jumping into calls. Now, if you look at these 380 calls, people are jumping in here at $9, right? People are jumping in here at $10 in anticipation of that breakout. Oftentimes, that first breakout ain't going to be the one to fire. You can see it failed over here as well. So here's what happens, guys, is that market makers push the stock towards that level. We jump in. We're buying calls for $9, $10, $11, and then the breakout never takes place. The stock heads right back down, and now think about the psychology of what's taking place here. You've been waiting for that breakout. It looks like it's moving towards that level, right? Human emotions, FOMO, we don't want to miss out. We go jumping into these calls, $9 a contract, $10 a contract, and then the next few days, those calls get crushed. So you bought these calls for $10. The next few days, shop goes on, not a big pullback, right? A very modest pullback, and your calls are getting fucking crushed. So what do? You're going to hold on to these things till they go to zero? If you're smart, you're not going to. So you're buying them at 10. You're getting rid of them at $6. You're getting rid of them at $5. If you're dumb enough to hold on, you're getting rid of them at $3 to $2 a contract. The market makers pull you in. You're paying a pretty penny for these calls. Then they push the thing right back down. So when you buy the call for 10 and you're getting rid of that thing for $5, $4, $3 a contract, guess who you're selling it to, right? The big money, the smart money. So oftentimes, guys, everybody's waiting for that breakout. They're going to rope you in a few times so they can buy the calls back from you at a discount. And now think about this. If the smart money is loading up on these calls at $2, $3, $4 a contract, when that breakout finally happens, and I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but just think about the psychology behind it. They're roping you in so they can get those calls at a freaking discount. So they're loading up on those calls as you're taking a big fat loss, $2, $3, $4 a contract. They're loading up at that range. When this thing finally breaks out, these calls that they're loading up on for $2, $3, they're going to be getting rid of them for $10, $11, $12. Think about the return on that. That's sometimes a game that's being played here. So I say all this, guys, to say that with a name like Shop, you really want to wait for the confirmation of an actual breakout, whether it be by looking at the tape, looking at options flow, a combination of the two. These bigger picture breakouts, they can be a lot of manipulation. So keep that in mind. Be a little bit cynical in your thinking and wait for the true move above 380. You try getting in here, right? You're suffering for some FOMO. That's kind of what can happen. So we're looking for that breakout, but we are being open-minded to the idea that it may not be as easy as a quick push towards that level. Take a little bit of chop, but when that move takes place, you bet your ass we're going to be ready for it. And the last name, guys, I want to talk about this morning is Nvidia. So by far, as far as individual names go, this is a focus of mine right now. And few levels here for Nvidia. Right now, we did get above a key 215 breakout level here this week. Right, and we're moving nicely now. 215's giving this thing a little bit of trouble, but bigger picture right now, guys, is that we're looking for the move here in Nvidia above this. Sorry, I'm blind as shit. 221, 222 levels. So the significance is this level is that, support, right? Support, they accumulate it, and it goes on a big move. But check this out, right? Look at the dump that comes in underneath that same level. They try to run it back, it gets dumped again, right? And now months and months later, we head back towards that level on the gap, we get resisted and right back down. So this is a key level breakout here for Nvidia, and there's a few ways you can go about playing breakouts, right? For a swing trader, you can sit there, you can wait for the breakout. Once it happens, you can take your entry and see if it continues to move in your favor. Another alternative there, guys, is that when you identify a stock inside of something that we call a squeeze, this is when options are going to be their cheapest, right? The premiums are low, the IV is low. So when you can begin to accumulate calls for 30, 60 days till expiration inside of that squeeze, oftentimes you're up a few 100% by the time that thing actually makes the breakout because you bought those calls when they were super cheap. So yesterday I bought a 230 strike call that expires in about 30, 40 days inside of the squeeze. Now, over the next few weeks, if we do break out, that call is going to gain tremendous value because I bought it when it was at its cheapest. So, we will be talking about a few different ways to swing this thing in the focus trades group, but that is a key level we're looking for a breakout on right there, guys. And if we take a look this morning, right, we're making a little move here pre-market, but that's about it, guys, right? As far as a bunch of opportunities, I'm only focusing on a few names right now because I'm taking everything into consideration. The Fed, which just passed yesterday, the economic data, the potential tariffs, right, coming this Sunday. You combine that with the fact that we have seen volatility, knocking on the door as of late. I'm not looking for crazy exposure in individual names. So the names that I am going to trade, there's a very specific game plan, like a Shop, like an Nvidia. That game plan is going to help me stay out of trouble. That should be your number one goal as a trader. So, right, volatility is fading, but it's still knocking on the door. So I wouldn't say we're safe just yet. And with all that being said, guys, this is a week that I do think, patience is your best bet. So, Focus Trades members, I will see you guys this morning for our live trading session. We'll begin about 30 minutes before the market opens. For those of you who follow me on IG and here on YouTube, if you're not in the group yet, there's a link in the description for a free 10-day trial to the group. If you like the group, it's only $10 a month afterwards, and that's going to get you in the chat room, the live streams, and just our family in general. So I wish you guys the best of luck today. Kick some fucking ass, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Deuce.